Hello and welcome to Love Anything Art. Today I have fun little ideas for you. There's actually going to be two in this one, and they're both going to kind of be scrap clay kind of ideas. The first one here, I have so much scrap clay. Look at all these baggies. This is just ridiculous. I'm going to use this though, folks. It is not going to go to waste. That is exactly why I have been saving it. I do try to use it, but every time I make a project, I always have clay left over. So, goals going forward. Use everything until it's gone for every project. That's how I will no longer have scrap clay. And I'll make beautiful things. Beautiful random things out of all this scrap clay. So I'm just going to take some colors that I think look good together or are a good color combination. Just chop those up. And of course, what's a scrap clay video without a little bit of alcohol ink, folks? Putting some of that wonderful hot pink color on there. I know I have a few Love Anything Art fans that enjoy this color. Others don't, but I do. It's a beautiful color. Go ahead and mix that up. Of course, you can use whatever color makes your heart sing. And if you have some old scrap clay, you can just add some Bacon Bond in there and it will be a glue for your clay and make it all stick together. I did put a little too much in mine and it became a little bit mushy, so you gotta be careful with that. But if you get too much in there, you can always try and leach it out by putting it between two pieces of paper and kind of letting it sit there and leach some of that goopiness out if you put too much in there. Some of the clay is really pliable and others are just not. No matter how long it's been sitting there, it's still soft. I think it depends on what brand I was using. So each one's a little bit different. I have my chopped clay that has ink on it, and I'm going to wrap it up in the scrap clay that I made, hey, for that blue color in the background. You can make some really pretty colors with scrap clay. And actually, after this idea, I'm going to show you a whole slew of ideas. I think it's important to kind of keep the colors together when you are making your scrap clay colors. So like all the blues together. You don't want to put like blue and yellow and pink and gray all together because it's going to come out all muddy. I did roll that up into a tube. Just going to chop it up however you want to. I'm just making like little slices and then just going to go back and kind of chop it all over the place. And really you don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way. And again, I'm going to be using some more of the scrap clay, just picking a color that I think looks good and complements the other color that I have going on, and chop that up. And basically, you're going to kind of do the same thing you did to the previous one, just add in your ink color. You can try doing a different color if you want, if you don't want to do the same color. Really, it's all about experimenting. That's what I love about scrap clay. It's already scrap clay, and you can just go ahead and continue to play with it because it's not like a brand new block or anything, or if it's ruined clay and you just want to play, you can just do whatever you want to. I just love the freedom of that. Again, just kind of roll it up into a log and then wrap it in the, I'm doing the same color as before. You can do a different color if you want to. I just rolled it out. I did make that one a little bit thinner than the previous one. I should have done that on the first one, made it a little bit thinner, but it's all good. Just playing around here and having a good time, seeing what I come up with. I just love it. And again, I mixed that up with the other pile that I had, put those all together, rolled into a tube, and then just started slicing. And all the colors do look good together. And then just you can mix them all up together. Just make sure they're tossed up pretty good there so that they're all nice and combined, not all stuck together. I just love using the white alcohol ink color that I have. It makes a nice veiny texture. or a nice veiny pattern, I should say, in the clay. And then just go ahead and mix that all up. And it will kind of color whatever color the other alcohol ink was. So there was pink on there before, so it's going to become like a light pink color. I don't really mind that. It's a pretty color anyway, so you don't have to put the white on there if you don't want to. It's really up to you. I just think it's going to give it a nice veiny look in there. And then I'm using some scrap clay that I have. I took the clay that I had made my YouTube play button out of, and I'm going to chop that up. It makes that really pretty pink color to the left. I had already mixed some up, and then I just added that back in, and I'm just going to mix it up. It has a little bit of black in there, as you can see, but it really didn't destroy the color, as long as it's not too much of that. And it came out with this beautiful color. Look at that. And it has all the like little sparklies in there, glitter in there. Ah, I just love glitter. I'm going to take my tube that I rolled up, and I'm going to coat that in the pinky reddish kind of color. I don't know, maybe eggplantish. What would you say? It's pretty, I think. Just roll that up. And really, you can make the outer layer as thick as you want. It's your project. You just do what you want. This is what I'm doing. You just have fun. That's what I recommend you do. Have some fun, folks. This is clay here. Ain't nothing to worry about. Just go ahead and use your creative imagination. I'm gonna make little small tubes out of these, cutting them down to size, trying to get them in as even as possible in length. And then I'm gonna put it together kind of like a little flower in a way. I had to take one of those away, it was too much. And then just ever so gently kind of rolling it, just trying to get everything stuck together. Now this is optional, but if you don't do this, then your outer ring is gonna kind of get flattened. So I'm just taking some of that clay that I had made, and then I'm just gonna fill in those gaps all around. Just put it in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're gonna kind of put it all around in all of those gaps, and then you can roll it out and make everything blend together. You could even coat this in another color of clay on the outside. I think that would be really pretty, like as a border. And then I did put mine into a square shape. So I have this like little funky flower-ish kind of a pattern. And then I'm going to make a small little slab out of that. I'm honestly so surprised at how little clay you need to make something. Like in my mind, I'm always like, I need more clay. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. But this really was a small amount, and it was enough for me to make a couple of different pieces. So I just keep that in mind as, you kind of going along making things. And if you're going to make a whole bunch of something, then yeah, you're going to need like a lot of one type of clay or color. So you would need to make way more of this if you were making a ton of pieces. These are the pieces that I came up with that small little amount. So, and I have these little dangly things. They were like these little confetti pieces that somebody sent like in a happy birthday card. So that was fun. I kept them all this time, and now I'm actually using them. I was really happy about that. Well, I'm going to bake that, and while I bake that, I am going to show you all of the wonderful colors that I made from my scrap clay. I have a whole bunch of piles here, and off to the side I have some too. It took me a while, but I did separate them out into color-coordinated chunks. So if I had a whole bunch of different green colors, I did a whole bunch of different greens. So these are the piles that I made, and these are the colors. I was amazed at the beautiful colors. Like, these are, to me, prettier than a lot of the colors you get in the packages. Like, they're just so unique and beautiful. And then some of them came out a little bit gray, like that one, because of a lot of black in there. But it has a, like, touch of purple in it. Just wanted to show you the contrast there. And then just such small amounts, but this will make a project. Like, a lot of these smaller pieces of clay that I have rolled out here, that it's going to make an entire piece. Like, they're just so beautiful. Let me know what you think about, you know, kind of mixing your own colors together if you like doing that too. I do have quite a few here. Just wanted to show you these. Obviously going really fast. But I came up with a lot of purples. I guess I had a lot of like purpley kind of colors in there, or larger piles of purple. Look at that green. It just reminds me of like summer and lime. And then I came up with some really beautiful gray colors. There wasn't really a color that I mixed that I didn't like. And it was just about kind of sectioning out into its color schemes. So all the purples, all the pinks, all the blues, all the blacks, all the oranges, all that together. And that one's so pretty with all the sparkles in it. And I did use that in the next project. And I had so much of this one green, so I had a whole bunch of that. And grays are just so neutral. It's wonderful to have those on hand. And the same with like this like ochre kind of a color. And of course, you need some beautiful reds. Oh, look, that is just beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, that's all that I have to show you on that. But I'm going to show you another idea. These are a couple more scraps of clay that I have, but these were special because they were made with translucent clay, so I kept those to the side so I could make something different. And that was so pretty. Look at the little flecks of like dried paint in there. It was so beautiful. I'm gonna make another project for you. I love the way this turned out. Gonna use some translucent clay, and I'm gonna also be using the translucent clay that I mixed up in the previous scene there for this piece also. Just gonna take my little 6 sections and put them on some tin foil to catch all the messies that I love to make. These are the colors that I'm using. Of course, use whatever you want, but I was kind of getting a color from each of the color groups here. So it's gonna be so beautiful and rainbowy. It's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait for you to see. And then of course, don't forget to shake your inks up there. And I just love these inks because honestly, I bought these a couple, like 2 years ago. I've made so many projects with this, and I have so many more I can make. There's just so much. Alcohol ink is like a big investment up front, but I honestly think that it goes a long way. You can just play with this stuff for years. Small investment was like $25, I think, but I've had so much fun with these inks, especially lately. I just love it. I've been really into making like faux stones, trying my best too, and I've been watching some other YouTubers kind of doing it, so much fun. I just love playing with the clay. And then I got my little piles of colored clay that I mixed up before your eyes, and they turned into beautifulness. Taking a little bit of that white alcohol ink again, and that's gonna give me my nice veiny look. Mix those up, let them dry pretty good, and then basically you can kind of just use your imagination here and do whatever you want, but I'm gonna make a little like small brick out of this. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot for this. This is gonna be like the topping on the cake, so you don't need as much icing as you need cake. You know what I mean? So I'm just taking the colors. You can mix them all up if you want to and just have a beautiful rainbow of colors, or kind of do what I'm doing and put them in like little partitions or sections. So I like put some red together, and then I took some red and green and mixed it up, and then I put some green by itself, and then I took some yellow and red and mixed it up, and then I did yellow by itself and red by itself and blue by itself. Just kind of mixing some colors in a little few spots, and then just doing like whole bricks of color. And you're gonna see here in a minute what I'm talking about once I get it all together. It's a nice small little flat brick or slab piece. You don't need a lot of it. This is, like I said, just gonna be the top part. And this is that pretty blue with the flecks on it. And I am still using cutters because I'm broke as a joke. I can't be buying a bunch of cutters right now. I really want to, though. I'm going to try to save up so I can buy some cutters. But I am still using the paper ones that I make. But it's kind of fun, though, too. You know, you can kind of control your own shapes and make them really unique and one-of-a-kind-ish. So there you go. Yeah, you can see that it's like a section of red, and then you have some yellow, and then yellow and green mixed together, and then some blue. And you could play with it and make it as like long as you want to, so you just rainbow color all the way down, whatever you want. But you just need a small little section for each of these. And then I rolled it out to make it really thin and kind of stretch it out. That way you can see all of those beautiful veins inside of there. And you'll see here in just a few minutes. I don't want to cover the entire piece. I want some of that pretty blue color in the back to kind of come through, and also to be able to see the pretty pattern that I made on top. This piece in the end comes out so pretty. It's just so shiny and sparkly, and I just love it. I'm gonna keep this piece. I won't give it away, and I'm not gonna sell it. This was probably one of my favorite ones that I made. And again, all the pieces that you're cutting away, you can save those to the side, which is what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna make a little scrap piece out of it. I'm just gonna take it, roll it all up together, flatten it out, and then cut out shapes. So be sure to save all those wonderful pieces, because you really can make one-of-a-kind, beautiful pieces. And that's what's so wonderful about this clay. If you don't have a cutter, or you kind of want to do it faster, this is a great way to do it, I think. Just take a mold and just pick out the shape you want. I'm just gonna do an oval shape, just something really basic. This would have been really pretty as a heart too. I'm taking the rest of that blue clay, and I'm gonna put it inside of the mold and make it the shape of the mold. And then just cut off the back like you would normally do if you were making a shape. Take a little bit of your beautiful rainbow color that you're gonna put on top, and again, just take a section, flatten it, and then kind of just stretch it out over the piece. And this actually went so much faster than the previous way, but you don't get as pretty of a shape, I think. Put it back in the mold, and then you can press it down inside of there, and again with the roller, or you can put it on a flat surface like I'm gonna do, and then just kind of press it, and it'll stick to the surface too, usually. And then you can just remove the mold and it'll kind of stick to your surface. So this went really, really fast. It's a really simple way to do it, and I think you could make a lot more pieces if maybe you're like trying to make these to sell. This is one of the pieces I made. I used some sparkly black clay that I had made earlier out of my little scraps that I made of colors. And then of course I put my little beautiful rainbow little veiny piece on there. And those were, of course, just pieces that I cut out with my paper cutters. And then these are those blue ones. Oh, and I love the little top because it came out of the middle. It's just, oh, it's so pretty. It's one of my favorite. It has such beautiful colors, and it just really pops. And this back is actually another translucent piece that I had taken and chopped up. So it has like little flecks of like glitter in it and such. And then, of course, that last piece that I just made came out really pretty. And then this was just the last little bit of the clay that I had made in the brick. So I just took it, flattened it, made it into like a little triangle shape, and that was it. And then this was all of the scraps left over. So beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!